Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. And today I'll be talking about Star Wars. I'm only going to be talking about the first 9 since it's the only movies that I own. I mean, I also own Season 1 of Resistance, but, I'll just talk about that with my other Star Wars videos that I have planned. I'll be starting out with numerical order, because that's the order you're supposed to watch them. We'll be talking about the prequel trilogy first. We got a nice little Blu-ray thing for it. I like the disc too. See, we got a little... Oh, that happens. No one's perfect. But The Phantom Menace. That's time for episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Beginning of the film, we see Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm sure you at least know one of those names. At least one. They try to... they're figuring out what's so shady about this trade that's been going on. And whenever they get into the nitty-gritty of it, they are almost killed, so they have to flee to a planet where they have to save the princess. And they go to a different planet where they find this kid that has a whole bunch of I'll just say Force energy, because, well, Metachlorians are only mentioned in this film and nothing else, if I remember right. So, I'll just say Force energy. It's really crude, but... So, this kid he's now with the Jedi, which are Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi. They are Jedi, and this kid wants to be a part of that, and so he does. They take the princess back to where she's supposed to be, I think, and then they go back to the planet, if I remember right. They make peace with one of the traitors, and they do that with the princess, and then they go against, the Sith. They go against the Sith. I can't remember if they are called that in this. I can't remember if they say the word Sith. It's hard to remember this film. It's hard for me to remember films that are really long. I mean, I love these films, but that doesn't mean I don't forget 3/4 of them half the time. Well, now that they're back on the planet, Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan get into a Jedi fight with their lightsabers. Pshoo, 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 ooh! One of the most famous fight scenes from the Star Wars franchise, probably. The Darth Maul fight. One of them dies. Not really a spoiler if I don't tell you who it is. Just one of them died. Go watch the film if you want to see. And if you haven't seen the film, that's kind of on you, because it's been a little bit. And after one of them dies, they kill. He kills Darth Maul. And he goes to Obi-Wan. No, not Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan goes back to Anakin. And Anakin starts his Jedi training young and then becomes his apprentice. but I don't believe that we get that confirmed until the second film. So, yeah, time to talk about number 2, Attack of the Clones, right? Yeah. Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. I think it's at 10 years later. They are sent on a mission by the Queen. And Anakin is a little awkward with it because he has a little crush on the Queen. Ooh. And now Obi-Wan has to do some detective work, Jedi detective work, while Anakin's trying to get some Amidala. There's a new, like a chancellor, and he is manipulating the Jedi into his forces, so they can become not good Jedi. And while Obi-Wan is doing his Jedi detective work, he slowly figures this out. But most of it's really just suspicions, and I don't think it's ever outright said in this film that this new Palpatine guy, Chancellor, I think it's Chancellor, but he's not good. So, yeah. Obi-Wan has to... I believe there's another fight in this one. Really, this film is just to kickstart the third film. The first one was just for background purposes, and the second one was kind of made to kickstart the third film, which third film completely, like, skyrocketed. I plan to do the ratings after the trilogies. Like, I'll give you the ratings for each film after the trilogy, and then I'll give you what I rate the trilogy. And then I'll just combine the ratings of the trilogies, the 3 trilogies, the trilogy of the trilogies, and I'll just give out a final score. So you guys will know my scores and reasonings for each score after I talk about the third film of each trilogy. If you count down how many times I say trilogy in this video, if you comment down and you guess it correctly, I'll like your comment. Editor Caden, try to spray the word trilogy everywhere and they have to count it. Yeah, now time for Revenge of the Sith, Episode 3. Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. One of the bad guys from the second film that caused, I'm gonna keep on telling you more details I didn't tell you about the last one because I just keep forgetting what happens in each film. This is a guy named Dooku. I'll say Dooku, because I don't want to say Dooku, because it sounds like Dookie. So I'll say Dooku. So, Dooku was, from the second film, was the reason that Anakin loses his arm. And he also married the Queen. Secretly. Jedi aren't allowed to marry. They're not allowed to do a lot of stuff. And in this film, we find out that the Queen's pregnant. This is the film that we find out that this Palpatine guy isn't really nice. He's not that nice of a person. He kind of manipulates Anakin to doing bad stuff, and he ends up doing bad stuff. He only kills a few children, really. That's fine. And this leads to him becoming the main bad guy. They have their famous little fight at the end. Anakin turns into a brisket, losing his legs. Yeah. I can't wait to talk about these films in depth. It's hard to talk about these films in a short length because you'll end up either forgetting to talk about something or that's mostly you will just forget a lot of stuff if you can condense it down. But yeah, episode 3. I should now tell you the ratings of each film and why, and I will combine those scores for this trilogy, and then we'll move on to the original trilogy. Scores for each film. I give Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones both 2 out of 4 stars, but for different reasons. Phantom Menace has one good fight scene, but a lot of useless information that does not carry from the next films. So it's kind of like a lot of stuff that happens here doesn't really continue for the rest of the films, and it's just kind of meant there's only like 3 actual things that matter, which is Anakin didn't have a dad ever biologically, technically. One of the Jedi people die, and Darth Maul dies for the first time out of like 3. So 2 out of 4 stars for that one. Episode 2 was really it had more important things, but it's not as entertaining as the first. Like the first one had entertaining moments, but it was kind of useless for future films. This one was more important, but like it wasn't as entertaining. So for the importance of the trilogy, like it's important, but as a film itself, it's kind of blah. In the Revenge of the Sith, I give 4 out of 4 stars. I love it. So I give this trilogy, with my own personal opinions and just actual regular math, I give it a 3 out of 4 stars. Prequel trilogy, 3 out of 4 stars as a unit, of course. Yeah. Now it's time for the sequel. Sequels. I mean, I guess they are sequels, but this is the sequel trilogy. But this is the original trilogy, even though they're sequels to that one. I don't like to talk about the sequels. I don't like these sequels. I love these sequels, but I don't like these. I mean, I don't mind this one. This one's not bad. It's not bad. But anyway, we're gonna talk about this right now. It's about these films. The ones that started it all. Episode 4, A New Hope. Time to talk about it. Woo! Episode 4, A New Hope. The one that started it all. Film starts Death Star and Leia I'm just going to go ahead and say this isn't really a spoiler. It's just, you just have to know it. Leia, Vader's daughter, puts plans inside of a robot to send to a little farm boy named Luke, which is also Vader's son. 2 kids. Remember, the queen is pregnant. These are her 2 kids. When these plans reach this guy, he finds this old man, the little brittle old man, talking to him about wars and moving things with your own gravity. I mean, I wouldn't want to believe him if I was in Luke's position. If I was in Luke's position, I wouldn't want to. I think I would go back to doing whatever he did, drinking his blue milk. But he listens to this guy, and they hire these 2 people, Han Solo and Chewbacca, to help save Leia from the Death Star, which is the big Death Star. It says in the title. I don't know what you want from me. It gives death to stars. That's what it does. It's pretty self-explanatory. Luke destroys his Death Star, saves Leia, and hooray, yippee, yay! Except, no. Also Obi-Wan sacrifices himself in the movie. That's not really I guess it is kind of a spoiler, but it's important for the next 2 films. So, like, without knowing this information, like, you just need to know this information before watching the next 2 films. Like, I just need to tell you this. Yeah, that's time for episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. Alright, episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. Luke is led and stranded on this planet with where he trains with a screen alien. I wonder who I could be talking about. I wonder who I could. I wonder who this is. He's most popular whenever he's called Baby Yoda, even though it's not Yoda. Trust. While Anakin, yay, Anakin, yeah, Anakin and Luke, same person. Trust. While Luke is training with Yoda, Leia and Han and Chewbacca they go to Cloud City. I can't remember if Luke is that. I think he's training with Yoda. I think. Whatever. While that's happening, it turns out it's a trap, and they get They get captured by Vader. Luke comes back stronger by the Force and training. That only took a few days. Yoda hints at another Skywalker. Oh, Luke and Leia don't know their siblings. They kiss. Ignore that. Luke and Vader have their little battle. Why is the camera like... Luke and Vader have a little battle. Vader gives out the "I am your father" thing, and Luke loses his hand. And the film ends with Luke escaping, and this sets up for episode 6, Return of the Jedi. Don't think I really missed much. Yeah, Return of the Jedi. Woo! Alright, episode 6, Return of the Jedi. Luke saves Han from being turned into stone from the last film. Leia's a bounty hunter, I'm pretty sure. Luke has his little things, little side quest going on. Turns out there's another Death Star being built. They go to it. It looks incomplete, but it's actually just complete, and they purposely made it look incomplete so that the Jedi can be tricked and into thinking it's not complete whenever it is. It's like a little tactic. But they do fall for it, ultimately. And Luke and Vader have their own little moment with Palpatine. Luke resists turning to the dark side. Vader is the one that I think that kills Palpatine. But there was a little part where Palpatine was zapping Vader. After getting zapped and throwing Palpatine into the infinite darkness, where he has to come back in a horrible sequel. He has his final moments with his son. Really sad. Plays his harmonica while he dies. And the Jedi win. Yay! Depending on the version that you have, the actor for Anakin changes, and I think that's it's kind of funny because like imagine like growing up like watching that film knowing what Anakin looks like, and then after the prequel trilogy comes out, like he just looks completely different. Like, huh? What happened to him? But I think they did a pretty good job looking for the two actors, like making them look really similar. Hayden Christensen looks a lot like original Anakin. Don't know his name. I think they got a different actor to play Anakin that they did Darth Vader, and the voice actor for Darth Vader isn't the same as the actor that plays him. Yeah, 3 different people playing Darth Vader. Huh. That's really crazy. But yeah. You would think after this movie, since the Force has brought balance to it, there shouldn't be any more Force tampering. But you're stupid. You're dumb. You're dumb. They make 3 more films. And I wish I was dumb like you in that moment where you didn't know, where you were under your shell and you thought there wasn't, and you. I wish I didn't know that these movies existed. I wish that these didn't happen, but they did. Oh yeah, ratings. I give episode 4 2.5 out of 4. Episode 5 I give that a 3 out of 4. I like that film. Yeah. Ugh. Excuse me. Return of the Jedi, 4 out of 4. I give this trilogy 3.5 out of 4 stars as a unit. I like Return of the Sith as much as Revenge of the Sith as much as Return of the Jedi on some levels. Wait, am I mixing up Return of the Jedi and Empire Strikes Back? I do that a lot. Hold on. Give me some time. Give me some time! Where's episode 5? Wait, no. A New Hope 3 out of 4, and I give episodes 5 and 6 4 out of 4 stars. And I like episode 3 as much as 4. As 5 and 6. Yeah, it's hard for me to remember films over 2.5 hours long. Unless I've seen them an ungodly amount of times. The Tarantino films. But yeah, as a unit, I like the original trilogy more than the prequel trilogy. Oh! But I go to episode 3 a lot more since all I got to do is just watch that film. But if I ever want to watch an actual trilogy, I usually go to the original trilogy of Star Wars, and I just watch those films on playback. Like, I just, like, watch it again, again, again. But if I ever just want to watch a Star Wars film, I usually just watch it. But if I want to watch a trilogy, yeah. Yeah, 3.5 out of 4 stars for the original trilogy. I enjoy it. Now it's time for the sequels. Now it's time for episode 7, The Force Awakens. Yay. This one isn't bad. Like, if you think about this movie by itself, it's not bad. If you think about it by itself. Which it's kind of hard to do because it's the first of a trilogy. That's supposed to be very important. Ooh, excuse me. But it isn't. It's not important. No. Ignore those. But talk about this one. Actually, with these set of films, I'm just gonna give them ratings after the film, and then just talk about, and then just dash on the films because why not? And then I'll give my rating on Star Wars. Go ahead and give this rating out now. I'll give it a 2 out of 4. Like, I don't ever sit down like, I want to watch Force Awakens. But, I mean, the times I watched it, it was kind of entertaining. It wasn't boring. Was it boring? In the same sense that Chopping Mall isn't boring. In the same sense that watching memes on the pooper isn't boring. So basically, we have our new main character, Rey, and she teams up with, I think 2 other people, or 1 other person at this time. She uses this robot to find a map to where Luke Skywalker is. She uses the Millennium Falcon to find Luke. She teams up with Han and Chewbacca. Turns out Han Solo has a child. That his name is Kylo. And this Kylo guy we've seen throughout the film sort of is this bad guy. Find out he's Han's kid. Kylo does a very devious act. And it's supposed to be like a major plot point, and it is. It's hard to remember this. It's hard to remember this one, not in the sense of the other films, but that's just because I haven't seen them a lot. It's just that I kind of choose to kind of forget 7 through 9. I'm gonna rewatch these films and I'll talk about them in the Star Wars deep dive. I'll do the Star Wars deep dive after I do my Legend series. I think I talked about that already. The 17-part Legend series I plan to do. I'm still reading for the first part of that. I'm still doing a lot. Yeah, the film kind of ends, not really abruptly, but not. Rey finds Luke, and that's kind of the film ends. She finds Luke. Yay! I wonder what he does. I wonder what he does. I'm just giving myself time to think about this. Not the video, but like this movie. What it could have been, what was planning to be, and how they thought it was a good idea to get a different director to ruin everything, and then they get the same guy for the 7th one to undo 8, but keep a consistent sequel to 7. Ugh. Yeah, 2 out of 4 stars, Force Awakens. Now it's time for The Last Jedi. It's not. She's not. She's not. Technically. Yeah. I'll show you the case to it. Yeah, Last Jedi is the 8th film, not the 9th film. No, this is a sequel to the 7th film. I think this is the next one. Yeah. Last Jedi. Last Skywalker. Rey trains with, I guess, what's supposed to be Luke Skywalker. Dude, the film's so bad. They show off the fact that it's a multi-screen edition. It's a feature that you can pick widescreen or not. That's a feature. A feature. Even though you were already able to select what screen you wanted for film, since DVD ports in the 80s. Not 80s. Yeah, probably. I don't know. I was alive in the 80s. I presumed that they were. So yeah, if it's a it's like buying a controller on one of the features that has 2 analog sticks. Oh, I hope so. But yeah, she trains with what's supposed to be Luke Skywalker. But she's getting like these vision things. I don't know. To where she sees Kylo. Turns out Luke's failed Kylo. Oh yeah, Kylo's real name was Ben. Ben. And in Luke Skywalker's last Force of Power, he stalls Kylo so the Resistance or the Jedi can find a new place, and this kills Luke. Kylo, I think this is where they kill Snoke. I think that's this film. I think. Yeah. Film the filming so that the 9th one can start. Star Wars Episode 9. It's not 9. This isn't it either. 9. The Rise of Skywalker. What this could have been. Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Palpatine returns. Rey has been training. And Kylo reveals that Rey is Palpatine's granddaughter. This film. Ugh. I don't even want to think about the rest of the film. I don't want to look at it. Palpatine does his usual evil schemes. He tries to take down the rebellion or the Jedi, whatever. And he almost gets away, but Kylo and Rey kind of team up to stop it, I guess. Kylo dies. Oh yeah, spoiler. I mean, it's not really a spoiler. You kind of have to know this to, like, this isn't really, like you. This is a mandatory thing to know for the film. Like, Kylo dies, reviving Rey, and Rey saves the day. It's true because it rhymes, I guess. And it ends with the film with her just completely taking the Skywalker name. Even though she is a Palpatine, I understand that, like, she can't go around saying, "Hey, I'm a Palpatine," But she could just go around saying, "Hey, I'm Rey." Like, that's also okay. You don't have to say you're a Skywalker, because you're not a Skywalker. You're the farthest from a Skywalker. You're not even... Her color's yellow. She's a Guardian. Like, her lightsaber means, like, that she's a Guardian. Like, I don't think it... Was that her kyber crystal to pick? I don't know. You gotta read the comics to understand the movies. Ugh. Disgusting. I mean, you can kind of do that with the first 6 films, but it's not mandatory. The films answer the questions for you if you just pay attention. But if you just pay attention to the 7 through 9, you're like, wow, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. Huh. Wow, that doesn't make any sense. Wow, that doesn't make any sense. Don't worry, they explain to it. Not in the movies, in the comic books. Oh, the 7-page comic books. Oh, and with most of them being 3/4 of just ads, and like every page you turn, it's just an ad. So it's as useful as it's literally as useful as the 2010s Aquaman comic. So you can understand something that happens in. I don't know. It's as useful. Like, they're not even good comics either. How do you make a bad? It's okay. I don't want to ask that. How do you make a bad comic? But like, still, like, it's Star Wars. How do you make it bad? These are just the movies I'm talking about. What time is it? Okay. Sequel trilogy. 2.5 out of 4 stars. No, that's generous. 2 out of 4 stars. Sequel trilogy. Star Wars as a whole, though, I mean, there's only one film I go back to, and one trilogy I go back to. The rest I just kind of forget about. So that's 4 out of the 9 films. But here, these are just the films. With the shows, it's a lot more redeemable because I like some of the shows a lot, like with the movies, like Rebels. I love Rebels. Like the Clone Wars series. I love the Clone Wars series. Mandalorian Season 1. I love it. Andor. I love Andor. Skeleton Crew is pretty good. I like that. Ahsoka wasn't bad. Doesn't mean much. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. That's as far as that goes. It was entertaining. It wasn't boring. It wasn't bad, neither was it boring. I guess that's all that really matters whenever it comes to a show. But that's enough about the shows. Gave the rating for Star Wars. I can't wait to talk about the deep dive. There will be an entire section just for plot holes. I will make that section an hour long. I will do everything in my power to make the plot to talk of. Like, I will try my best to manage to talk about all of the plot holes from not only these 3 films, but these 6 also. I will, like, because there's some of these 6 too. These 6 films aren't free. They have some pretty interesting what doesn't make any sense. They have some pretty interesting stuff there. But I will especially talk about these 3. I will go lengths for these deep dives. Like my View Askew Universe video, if that was an hour long, that will be the same length for me trying to talk about the plot holes in these 9, not only the 9 movies, but the shows too. I will do anything in my power to make that section as long as possible, so I can just engrave it into your minds. I love Star Wars. I love it. It's like Star Wars is like the NES. Like, there's a lot of bad games for it, but the big good games like overthrow the bad. But there's a lot of bad. Like the NES, we got Mario, Mega Man 2, Zelda, Metroid. We got those classics, but then there's also literally hundreds of bad NES games. We got Kirby, that's a good one. Like, there's a lot of good ones, but most of them are bad, but the good overthrows the bad. Kind of like with Star Wars, Yeah. Now, just so you know, this rating is just for the films. Well, these 9 films. I do plan to talk about Solo and Rogue One, since I liked both of those movies too. Yeah. Star Wars. Check out our TikTok. I post a lot about shows there. I'm gonna start uploading the TikToks to our YouTube Shorts, so that'll be fun. Yeah, I believe that's all. We stream frequently on the Twitch. Yeah. Like and subscribe if you may, and have a good day.